She walked into the glittering Lysander grill, expecting a quiet dinner with her husband. But instead, she was publicly humiliated and thrown out for wearing the wrong shoes, while the elite guests laughed at her. Little did they know, the woman they'd just mocked, treated like trash and shoved out of the door, was the wife of the billionaire who owned everything they held dear. Rain glazed Manhattan sidewalks while Lysander Grill glittered inside like a chandelier. Crystal sconces, jazz quartet, linen-draped tables, every detail whispered money. Sophie Hartwell arrived alone, brush-stroke blue dress, thrift shop flats. She taught third grade. Tonight she just wanted dinner with her always busy husband. At the host stand, she smiled. Reservation for 2. Hartwell. The hostess, Mila, scanned her tablet. Frown. Name isn't showing. Sophie showed the email, 7 p.m., Riverview, table 14, but Mila flagged the maitre d' Victor Lang approached, suit so perfect it squeaked. His gaze flicked from Sophie's braid to her scuffed left shoe. We enforce elevated attire, he said. I believe I meet it, Sophie replied. Victor's smile thinned. Our ambiance is delicate. Perhaps try the cafe across the street. Nearby influencer in sequins raised her phone, streaming. Soft laughs popped like bubble wrap. I'm happy to wait at the bar, Sophie offered. Bar is for dining guests only, Victor snapped. He signaled security. Escort Ms. Hartwell. Out. Phones angled for content. 2 black suit guards stepped forward. Mila's face reddened. Sophie's cheeks burned, but her voice stayed even. I made this booking weeks ago. My husband is parking. Policy, Victor said. The guards opened. The door. Rain misted Sophie's braid as she stood under the awning. Inside, Victor toasted walk-in VIPs, now seated at her table. The influencer live-streamed. Dress code drama. Chat erupted in shoe emojis. Sophie texted, they bumped us, waiting outside. 3 dots popped, vanished. Her husband was still stuck at the office. Lightning flashed off puddles. Shame, mixed with anger. She breathed the way she taught anxious kids, 4 in, 4 out, hold. Headlights sliced the drizzle. A silver Aston Martin slid to the curb. Ethan Hartwell stepped out, navy suit, rain on his hair, CEO calm. He spotted Sophie, jacketed her shoulders. What happened? They said I'm underdressed, she whispered. Ethan's jaw set. Very few knew this soft-spoken woman was married to a man worth $9 billion. Stay here, he said, but Sophie gripped his sleeve. Please, no scene, just dinner. He kissed her forehead, walked inside. Through the glass, she watched him speak, low, controlled, to Victor. The maitre d' paled, gestured wildly for menus, champagne. Phones flipped to capture new drama. Mila hurried to the door. The guard now held it open, head bowed. Ethan beckoned. Sophie with a warm smile. She stepped back across the threshold. Violins hushed, chatter died. Every guest stared at the flat-shod woman they'd mocked, still unaware she wore the surname Hartwell, and that the restaurant's lease depended on her husband's firm. The influencer's stream caption changed mid-record. Plot twist. Murmurs swirled as Sophie followed Ethan toward table 14, now vacated in a hurry. Victor hovered, sweating under flawless tailoring. Ethan's voice stayed velvet soft. My wife reserved this seat. Your staff chose humiliation over hospitality. Sincere apologies, Victor stammered. We'll comp dessert, arrange champagne. Ethan raised a hand. Compassion first, champagne later. Bring your owner, Mr. D'Angelo, on the phone. Hawthorne Capital holds 41% of his mortgage-backed note. Gasps rippled. Servers froze mid-pour. Sophie touched Ethan's wrist. We don't need threats. He met her eyes. Not threats. Boundaries. Victor hurried away. Mila approached, cheeks blotched pink. Mrs. Hartwell, I'm sorry. Your dress is lovely. should have spoken up. "Thank you," Sophie said, genuine. "Change starts with one voice." They sat. Ethan pulled the chair, a reclaiming of dignity. Half the dining room watched, phones discreetly down. The quartet resumed, but softer, as if apologizing. Victor returned, phone trembling in hand. "Mr. D'Angelo would like to speak." Ethan took it, speaker mode. A tinny voice spilled apologies and offers. Private rooms, chef's tasting, press statements. Sophie leaned in. "What I'd like is policy rewritten, tonight." She faced Victor. "From now on, kindness is the dress code. Publish it, train, your team. And tomorrow, host a free dinner for the city's public school teachers. I'll help plan." Silence. Then Mila whispered, "I'll volunteer." Another waiter nodded. Momentum shifted. Ethan handed back the phone. "You heard. My wife." Victor swallowed. "Yes, sir." Across the room, Paige the influencer lowered her camera, cheeks reddening. By Monday morning, Lysander Grill's Instagram announced, "Kindness is our dress code," plus a flyer. "Teacher Appreciation Night. RSVP now." Comments split like glass. Applause from educators, outrage from elitists. Food critic blog Epic Epicure sneered, "Charity stunt after PR disaster." Finance news chimed. Is Hawthorne strong-arming hospitality? Inside the restaurant, staff trained on new scripts. Mila led role play, reminding servers to greet guests with eye contact, not eye-level check. Some rolled eyes, others relieved. Victor simmered. Profits, he argued, hinged on exclusivity. He drafted a resignation letter, then shredded it. Mortgage, tuition, ego all tangled. Teacher night sold out in 2 hours. Paige Moreno, losing followers after the stream, sought relevance. She DM'd Sophie. "Let me cover the event. Help me make it right." Sophie hesitated but typed, "Only if cameras uplift, not ridicule." Agreement. 2 days later, the restaurant buzzed with educators in sneakers and cardigans. Laughter replaced hush. Chef Marco plated herb-roasted chicken, not Wagyu, smiling more than he had in months. Paige arrived, live-streaming thank-you interviews. Victor lurked by the bar, watching profits evaporate. He dialed Mr. D'Angelo. "We can't sustain freebies." The owner replied, "Public goodwill fills seats for years. Don't choke on short-term loss." Victor hung up, spine sagging. He spotted Sophie guiding an elderly substitute teacher to a seat, compassion effortless. Something inside him unclenched. Mid-service, Victor approached the mic once used for tasting menus. Voice shaky, he announced, "To those shaping tomorrow's minds, this house is yours tonight, and any night you need a meal on break." Applause thundered. Sophie mouthed, "Thank you." Paige's stream hit 3 million views. Comments overflowed as kindness dress code. 1 month later, a brass plaque greeted guests. "No outfit outranks decency." Teacher night became a monthly fixture. So did Veterans Wednesday and Foster Youth Sunday brunch. Revenue climbed. Families and tourists flocked to the newly warm aura. Victor invited Mila to co-host staff meetings. She instituted story swaps, where employees shared customer kindness anecdotes. Turnover dropped, tips rose, Epic Epicure returned, expecting chaos, but wrote, "Lysander proves elegance and empathy pair well, a richer flavor than truffle." Sophie visited on quiet afternoons, sketchbook in hand, designing mural concepts. The owner funded her idea, a riverside wall depicting diverse diners sharing one long table. Art students painted under her guidance. Passers-by filmed time-lapses. During unveiling, Ethan addressed the crowd. "When respect pulls out a chair, everyone eats." He thanked Victor and staff for courage to pivot. Paige, camera steady, interviewed Sophie one last time. "What's the takeaway?" Sophie smiled into the lens. "Never measure worth by fabric or fortune. Measure it by how we treat a stranger in scuffed shoes." The video trended #1 on YouTube's Inspiration tab across the US and Europe. Back. Inside, a tourist family underdressed from a river cruise hesitated at the door. Victor himself greeted them, offered the best window seat. The father glanced at his damp sneakers. "It's okay?" Victor nodded, genuine. "You're dressed perfectly for good food." Sophie watched, heart full. Ethan squeezed her hand. "Your lesson plan changed a city," he murmured. She grinned. "Just practicing what I teach. Art class rule #1, include everyone at the table." Violins swelled, the mural's colors glowed in evening light. And in a restaurant once, gated by arrogance, kindness became the new couture. 3 months later, Lysander Grill glowed as a beacon of inclusion rather than exclusivity. The kindness dress code plaque gleamed beside the hostess stand. Under its motto, the restaurant had welcomed over 2,000 teachers, veterans, and families from shelters, each given a table, a meal, and a moment of dignity. Victor Lang stood at the bar, reviewing guest feedback reports with Mila. "Check the comment from the Goldstein family," he said. "They said this is their new anniversary spot, because everyone feels welcome." Mila smiled, eyes bright. "They wore flip-flops, and the staff fussed over their toddler's dessert." Victor nodded. "I never thought comfort shoes would save my business, and my soul." At a corner booth, Sophie Hartwell sketched the final strokes of the Riverside mural she'd designed. It depicted diverse diners sharing a single, endless table that curved along the Hudson. Each figure wore their everyday clothes: jeans, uniform, sari, suit, united by laughter and shared plates. The mural's title, "One Table, Many Stories," crowned the scene in simple script. Her husband, Ethan, approached carrying 2 lattes. "Thought you might need a refill." He set one before her. "This table is yours." Sophie closed her sketch pad. "Look at it. Kids from my class next door painted those faces." She touched a child in a baseball cap. "They helped teach inclusion." A server offered fresh brioche. Sophie declined, patting her flat shoes under the table. "I'm good." From the entrance came enthusiastic applause. A group of teachers, some wearing sneakers, others in scrubs, marched in, led by Paige Moreno, the influencer-turned-advocate. She carried a giant check, $50 toward Lysander's new scholarship fund for underpaid educators. Paige stepped forward. "When I mocked Sophie's shoes, I learned we mock each other's humanity. Now this," she tapped the check. "Let's keep teaching kindness, one meal at a time," the teachers cheered. Victor's eyes shimmered. He handed the check to Sophie, who passed it to their charity partner, beaming. Later that evening, Ethan took the mic by the bar. He spoke softly, but carried across the room. "Tonight is more than profit turned to philanthropy. It's proof that empathy elevates elegance. Because no matter the fabric or the fortune, we all share a hunger for respect." Glasses clinked. In the crowd, diners of every background raised their water goblets in a shared toast. The string quartet swelled into a hopeful waltz. As servers cleared plates, Sophie rose. The river light flickered through the windows, igniting the murals, vibrant hues. She placed a hand on Ethan's arm. "Remember part 1?" she whispered. "When they almost erased me?" He nodded. "I do. Now look." She swept her free hand across the mural and room. "We wrote a new ending." Ethan kissed her temple. "Your kindness rewrote it," then into the mic, "and yours inspired a city." He stepped down. Victor and Mila joined them on a small raised platform. Victor cleared his throat. "I have one more policy update," he said. "Effective immediately, humanity is the only required attire. Everyone, staff and guests, must wear it proudly." Laughter and applause echoed. Phones recorded the moment that started as exclusion and ended in unity. As the waltz faded, Sophie and Ethan slipped outside onto the rain-washed sidewalk once more. The mural behind them glowed softly. Ethan wrapped an arm around her. Your lesson plan changed more than art class. She rested her head on his shoulder. Everyone deserves a seat, even in scuffed shoes. They walked hand in hand past the mural, two figures among many, proof that true elegance never needs sequins, it needs kindness.